I'm a 25-year-old male, and my 20-year-old girlfriend of 2 years cheated on me whilst away on a cruise holiday with one of the ship's staff. Luckily, she told me when we got back so it didn't turn ugly whilst away. But my girlfriend snuck out of the room at night and slept with a photographer on board a Royal Caribbean cruise. I'm so confused, upset, and angry. She struggled to tell me face-to-face and over the phone, but in the end received the news by text. Firstly lying, claiming it was only a kiss, and tried to make me stay. After a while of saying I didn't want her anymore, upset in the moment's thoughts, she then admitted to having intercourse with him and continued to say that I deserved it, earned it. She also said she doesn't regret it, and it was because I was being a dick. We had an argument the night before about how bad her family treats her, and I didn't want to keep seeing her situation get worse. I didn't know how much longer I could cope with the baggage of her life, but I didn't end the relationship. I tried to contact the company to get my money back. However, they said they didn't have sufficient evidence to prove the case, even though she told me when we broke up that he lost his job over it and that she was still in contact with him. Also, a week after the breakup, I received a message saying she is sorry for everything that happened then. Another week has passed, and she says she wants to be friends and asks how I've been. I've ignored both. I miss her, but I understand. Once a cheat usually means always a cheat. I wish I had some closure, or even a real apology. Why did she lie? What made her do something this extreme over an argument? Should I have not put my foot down about her avoiding her home life problems? If she lied about kissing instead of making love, did she really have intercourse? Should I pursue the truth or abandon this relationship and move on? Opinion. First things first, let's address the burning question. Why did she lie? Well, people have told fibs for centuries, and it's never been a good idea. But your girlfriend seems to have gone the extra mile. Starting with the classic, it was just a kiss cover-up. Maybe she thought she could smooth things over, but when you gave her the ol' heave-ho, the truth finally spilled out like a cheap piña colada at the cruise ship's open bar. As for why she did the deed in the first place, well, blaming it on an argument about her family and your unwillingness to be her emotional baggage handler, that's a rather creative excuse, don't you think? Cheating because someone's being a dick might just earn her a gold medal in the Olympic Games of lame excuses. You dodged a bullet there, my friend. Now the big question. Did she actually have intercourse, or was it just a peck on the cheek? I mean, who wouldn't trust a partner who lied about a passionate tryst to begin with, right? It's like a game of relationship bingo, where the numbers are all covered with deception. But hey, if she says it was more than a kiss, you might want to take that as a given. As for closure, let's be real. Sometimes there are no satisfying answers or heartfelt apologies. People can be weird, messy, and downright confusing. The truth might not set you free, but it can lead to more confusion. So, you're right in thinking about moving on. Pursuing the truth in this case might just feel like trying to untangle a spaghetti of lies with a pitchfork. And remember, once a cheat, not always a cheat, but it's a mighty big red flag. So in the words of Kenny Rogers, you've got to know when to fold 'em. It's time to close the book on this turbulent cruise, head for calmer waters, and find someone who'll treat you right, without all the dramatic plot twists. What do you guys think about the OP situation? How would you go about it? Let me know in the comment, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Opening track 1227. Brosef, you need to be okay with not getting the whole truth and let her go. It hurts, it sucks. It will take some time to get over her, but you will get over it and you will be okay. All but look, you want closure because you feel wronged, and you did, by a person you loved and trusted. So instinctively you want that person to display the greatest amount of remorse and shame, so that you will feel less humiliated and more valued. I know because I've been there. But now, many YRs later, married with kids and a wonderful, happy family, I realized how silly I was trying to get closure, when in fact it didn't matter, she didn't matter. FunAd5784. I think some people view closure as also an admission of guilt and regret by the other party. The reason is not the issue cheaters make it out to be. It's the complete lack of respect for the relationship that allowed any reason to result in an affair. So there cannot be closure until that fact is accepted, because if you allow her to manipulate you into thinking it was that one reason, then you fall into the what-if trap. Factor in lack of impulse control, need for instant self-gratification, and momentary lapse in judgment that plague humans in general. I'm not sure you can get closure in this instance. Focus on the fact that she broke your trust and her actions betrayed the relationship, and you deserve so much better. Sometimes you can't get closure but can be satisfied with acceptance. Anyways, it's time to move on to the update to see what happens next, without the story end. But before we do that, if you're enjoying the video and story so far, go ahead and click that like button. It helps me out a lot. Thanks in advance. Now let's move on to the update. My 20F girlfriend of 2 years cheated on me, 25M. whilst away on a cruise holiday with one of the ship staff. It's been 2 weeks since I stopped contact, then had a message with a picture of a positive pregnancy test with one of the cruise pictures we purchased in the background saying, "Can we be in an agreement about this and sat get rid? Liv spoken to the member of staff and he's got a sperm count of 0. Now I've had unprotected intercourse, while she's been on the pill, with her for 2 years and haven't got her pregnant, then she sleeps with a person on a cruise ship and claims to be pregnant, while still on the pill. Now at this point, I won't be surprised if it's a fake test she's ordered just to try and scare me. She also claimed again that the intercourse with him was good intercourse and how our making love life was non-existent. I've decided to take the advice on previous thread and block phone numbers, her family, and also all of her social media, but I'm worried. A, is she serious about being pregnant? Why would she tell me over text and not call me or knock at my door? Is it another lie? B, if it is just a plot to be horrible, what is she planning to do next? How do I not look over my shoulder for the next few years? C, what did I do to deserve all the hate? I only left her because she cheated. Why am I suddenly the worst person ever and feels the need to abuse me still? Well. Talk about a plot twist in the soap opera of the OP's life. If this were a daytime drama, the writers would be high-fiving each other for coming up with such a juicy storyline. Let's address the situation one tangled thread at a time. A, is she serious about being pregnant? Texting a positive pregnancy test while reminiscing about good intercourse with the cruise staff photographer? It sounds like she's not taking the whole situation very seriously. Maybe she's hoping to reel you back in with a dramatic cliffhanger. Or perhaps it's just another attempt to manipulate your emotions. Either way, approach this with a healthy dose of skepticism. B, if it's a plot to be horrible, what's next? Well, she's already proven to be quite the character, so who knows what she might concoct next in this gripping saga. Remember, this is your life, not a reality show. C, why all the hate? The age-old question. Cheating partners often go on the offensive to deflect their own guilt. It's not about what you did. It's about her trying to justify her actions. It's like a magician's misdirection. Look over there while she tries to make you the villain of the story. In this whirlwind of emotions, it's essential to keep your cool and your sense of humor intact. Life's bizarre twists and turns can be incredibly entertaining if you view them as a spectator rather than the leading actor. Take a step back, keep a firm grip on your sanity, and don't let the drama consume you. If life's a cruise, you've certainly hit some choppy waters. But remember, every soap opera eventually fades to black, and you'll be the one writing the script for your next adventure. Bon voyage, my friend, and may your future storylines be a lot less dramatic. What do you guys think about the OP's situation? How would you go about it? Let me know in the comment. And now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. User, The Crown, and Anchor. Look, there is always the possibility that this child is yours. And if that is the case, if she keeps the child, you are on the hook for child support, whether you like it or not. So if you want to bury your head in the sand and keep her blocked and hope she gets an abortion or hope that this is a scam of some kind, then by all means. But she will drag your ass through the mud and claim you abandoned her, and she was forced to get an abortion because of it. You know she'll do that, right? If it were me, I would tell her point blank. I am not willing to make any decisions about what could possibly be my child until we go to the doctor and have a medical pregnancy test done. Once the pregnancy is confirmed, and the doctor can give us some kind of time frame on gestation so that I know 100% that the child is mine, then we can have an honest conversation about what we want to do. Ultimately, though, the decision will be yours, and I will support that decision regardless. But understand, even if you really are pregnant and the child ends up being mine, we are not getting back together. I will happily co-parent a child with you, but at the end of the day, we will both be single parents raising a child separately. The relationship was over the moment you cheated, and nothing you can say or do will ever change that. In time, I can move past the betrayal so that our child could know nothing but love and a happy life. But it will take just that, time. So please, schedule a doctor's appointment and let me know when it is so I can go with you. User Unsafe Ideas. If she is asking about abortion, agree with abortion. Pay directly to clinic for IR. If she plans to keep the baby, tell her you will want paternity test and check how paternity works legally where you live. And if the test is fake, it will become clear in few months, which would sue for that time. By the good news would be that she is out of your life. User Saint Blaze. Sorry this is happening to you, OP. It sounds very stressful and distressing. If she is actually pregnant, not lying, and wants to keep it, demand a paternity test. It's probably not yours if she is actually pregnant. If she does not want to keep it and you want to pay for an abortion, pay for the abortion directly. In the meantime, keep her family blocked and her blocked except on the platform that you need to use to coordinate with her. User Carbon as Zero Ul. Honestly, she has made such a mess. The best answer in my opinion would be, inform me if you need me to take a paternity test. Otherwise, I never want to hear from you. User Lavita Mocha and Zed. Endorsing this and adding that OP needs to get tested for STDs ASAP. User Sharon Stoned. And then again in 3 months. User JowDow42. But I 100% believe she is just trying to hurt you, OP. Block and don't think about her again. And our next story. My 24F boyfriend, 28M, is constantly complaining about being broke, and I think I'm falling out of love. I want to preface by saying that I have never been the type of woman who cares about money. I have a good paying job myself, and am currently going to school, saving to buy a house, etc. My boyfriend is a great guy, but I have been starting to feel less and less attracted to him. He's constantly complaining about being broke, how expensive things are, how he's low on money. One time he bought me flowers and then mentioned how he has to learn how to make his own bouquets because flower shops are expensive. IDK about you guys, but that doesn't exactly make me feel happy or appreciative of the gift when someone complains how expensive they were after giving them to me. On my birthday, he offered to take me shopping. We get to the mall. I pick out some things, and when it's time to pay, he doesn't pull his wallet out or any indication of wanting to pay for the things he supposedly offered to pay for. So I took my card out and paid myself. Then one time he offered to pay for my nails, drives me 20 min to the nail studio, and right before I'm about to get out of his car, he tells me he can't pay for them because he has bills to pay. Why even offer paying for something knowing fully well you weren't going to follow through with it or are able to afford it? Then he went on to say about how expensive it is, that he wasn't expecting for our dinners to be so expensive and having to leave tips. We go out maybe once or twice every other week. Another time he offered to buy me a coffee, and then went on to tell me how he used the last $5 in his bank account to get it for me. All of this is just starting to become extremely unattractive to me. I feel like at his age or this point in his adulthood, he should be able to manage his money better. I have goals, I have a future, and it's really hard for me to feel attracted to someone who's constantly complaining of being broke. I don't exactly envision having a future with someone that seems to lack ambition for obtaining financial stability in their life. I feel like I deserve to be wined and dined, spoiled, whatever you want to call it, without being told how expensive or how broke they are when they're the ones who offered in the first place. I don't even know how to communicate any of this to him without sounding like a gold digger, but I shouldn't feel bad. It's embarrassing for him to even offer things he can't follow through with in the first place. Well, it sounds like you're stuck in a bit of a financial pickle with your boyfriend. You've got your goals and ambition, but he's seemingly stuck in a cycle of, I can't afford that, and whoops, sorry, I can't actually pay for it. Let's break it down with a dash of tension, some avoidance of stereotypes, and a pinch of wit. First off, it's important to avoid jumping to conclusions or stereotypes. Not all folks who are financially strapped are lacking ambition or responsible money management skills, but it does raise eyebrows when your boyfriend offers to treat you to things he clearly can't afford. I mean, buying flowers and then complaining about the price is like cooking a gourmet dinner and then griping about the cost of groceries. It's a buzzkill. Your frustration is entirely valid. You deserve to be wined and dined without feeling like you're attending a budgeting seminar. It's not about being a gold digger. It's about wanting to enjoy those special moments without the constant financial commentary. There's something unsexy about crunching numbers at the dinner table when you'd rather be exchanging sweet nothings. As for communication, a little humor can go a long way. You could say something like, babe, I appreciate your offers, but let's make a deal. If you offer to pay, you actually pay. If not, no worries. We can split it. It's a playful way to address the issue without making him feel like a broke joke. Ultimately, the key here is understanding each other's financial boundaries and finding a balance that works for both of you. And hey, maybe he'll learn a thing or two about budgeting along the way. Just remember, relationships are about more than just money. So let's hope there's enough love left in the piggy bank to keep things going. Hey, if you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to hit that like button and drop a comment to let me know what's going on inside that creative mind of yours. And let's get into community comments to see what they think. User Farka PR63. Yeksh. Sounds like he wants you to pay for everything, even the stuff he offers to buy you. I would be sick of hearing that. Any bets that he has money socked away and doesn't want you to know about it? Sorry, but he sounds like a loser. OP Puzzle-Headed Ad 2023. I honestly don't think so. I genuinely think he's broke, but I don't get it. He works for the city. Those jobs supposedly pay really well. He always insists on paying for everything when we go out on dates. I feel like maybe that was all a facade, and now that we're heading into our 4th month of our relationship, He probably thinks he's reeled me in enough to not have to pay for things, or feels comfortable enough to offer to pay for things he can't follow through with. I have my own money. I can buy my own stuff, but my issue is him offering and then not actually doing it. User Lady Excelot 1. It all sounds like a bait and switch. He went all in at first. Then he confuses you and tries to make you feel like you're entitled by inviting you for a shopping trip or nails, and puts you in a position where you either speak up and give him the opportunity to call you spoiled entitled, or see if you just shut up and put up the cash. It's a test, and he wants to make you feel like he was generous, and now it's your turn, indefinitely. But don't you dare speak up about how this is unfair. It's gross. Get out. Next, he will start complaining about things you buy for yourself while he suffers. Don't wait around for that step. User Bony Unicorn. Truly, the problem is him offering to do it, but then not doing it. He could present himself like, both of us pay for ourselves, which would be fine, but he's choosing to present himself as, oh, let me pay, but not actually meaning it. Manipulative maybe isn't the right word, or maybe it is, but it's annoying. User Tropical Storm 11. 4 months? Oh, wow. Yeah, get out. I lasted a lot longer in a relationship like this, and I wish I didn't. He was dump truck driver. Made good money? I do too. But he would do the same complaining to me. And if we were out to dinner, he would push the bill over to me. He never went on vacations. He just hoarded his money. I later found out he wasn't even paying for the house he was in, just the bills. He maintained the house by living in it for an elderly woman. Gosh, he made me sick, lol. He would get new bed sheets by returning old ones and say they were falling apart. Don't get me going. Lol. Don't fall down that hole. Find yourself a good guy. Just found out that my 26F boyfriend, 27M, is yet another desperate guy in IG models' DMs, and I'm mortified. Learned that just over a month ago. He, 27M, asked me, 26F, to charge his phone while he was having a shower. So out of habit, I grabbed his phone and started to close every app that was running on the background before plugging in. And for the record, we were always open to use others' phones type of couple, and I saw a very friendly message translated to our language from French on Translate. Got suspicious and checked his translation history. You are the most beautiful thing ever created, pure elegance. I feel charmed by seeing you with your killing grace even on a simple screen. I feel fascinated every time I see you. Every time I see you, I feel like I want to cry because of your unique purest existence. Now, I did certainly not receive those messages which were translated to Russian. So I confronted him in tears. Turns out, those were for a Russian model. In our relationship of 2 years, I have never received any compliments from him, despite me begging him to at least lie to make me feel better. The funniest thing is that he actually approached me the first place because he thought I was too pretty. Now here we are. I mailed the Russian model to see if he's telling me the truth about him only messaging once and asked for screenshots. She gracefully agreed and helped me by sending them. Nope. He messaged her multiple times. So yeah, he was just another desperate guy in a stunning model's DMs that will never be seen. Part of me thinks that this is a non-issue, but other part of me aches for the girl that cried for the past 2 years for a single genuine compliment. He definitely changed his behavior after this situation, but I cannot stop thinking about those messages. Was I not worthy enough? How can I move past this? I can't seem to get over them or look at him without an underlying disgust. First of all, kudos to you for your phone sharing transparency. That's a level of trust that some couples aspire to, though it can backfire as it did here. The phrase, curiosity killed the cat, comes to mind. And in this case, your curiosity didn't just kill the cat. It sent it to the 9th circle of relationship insecurity hell. Now let's talk about your boyfriend's poetic prowess. Those translations are smoother than a fresh jar of Nutella. It's a little ironic that he can craft such lyrical messages for a Russian model, but can't seem to muster up a single compliment for you in 2 years. I mean, come on. Even a, "you look nice today," could have saved him from this predicament. As for your worthiness, let's make one thing clear. You are more than worthy of genuine compliments and affection. Your value doesn't hinge on how many DMs your boyfriend slides into, or how many poetic sonnets he can whip up for a model. This situation is a reflection of his actions, not your worth. Now, as for moving past this, it's going to take some time and communication. Your boyfriend seems to be trying to change his behavior, which is a step in the right direction. Talk to him about how this has affected you, and let him know what you need from him to rebuild trust. It's okay to feel hurt, but holding on to disgust won't do anyone any favors. Remember, relationships can weather storms, even ones involving Instagram models. This could be a bump in the road or a pivotal moment of growth. Keep your wit sharp, your heart open, and don't forget that you deserve all the compliments and love in the world. You got this. Comments. User Space Whale 88. He broke your trust, and you are the one wondering how to move on. If anything, he should be bending over backwards to get back in your good graces. If that model returned messages, he'd be on her in a heartbeat. Is this issue something you want to still be dealing with next year? In 5? In 10? I'd bet good money he's not going to stop doing this. You need to ask yourself if you are okay being in a relationship like this forever. OP replies, Throre has just a simp. I'm definitely considering breaking up, but the thought of never being able to find someone that I can have as much fun as I do with him makes me question the whole situation. But I can't live with this feeling that he'll always have a weakness for pretty girls and would cheat on me once he receives a reply from one of them. User Burn Toasted Butter. Hey, I'm just 1 year younger than you, and I had the same thoughts about my ex as well. I thought I wouldn't find anyone who'd match my weird personality, but I did a few months later, and I found someone even better. Someone who continuously loves and isn't shy about showing or telling it either. There is always someone out there. In fact, there are multiple people. I don't believe in just one soulmate. It's a matter of luck and timing. Do you really want to be with someone who hasn't complimented you ever, or even lie about it like you had asked, and one who thirsts for IG models? If this is how he is, you probably bring more to the relationship than he does. When I was with my ex, I thought I was selfish for asking him to send handwritten snail mail. He'd always say he'll do it, but he never did. We were LDR, and it was 5 years. Now with my current partner, he sent it as soon as I asked about us exchanging snail mail. He said it wasn't really his thing too, but he loves how happy it makes me. Then he realized he loves receiving them as well, lol. User Missy the Martian. You said in this post that he doesn't compliment even after you told him you would be okay with him lying in order to receive said compliments. This is not normal, and there are plenty of people in the world. You won't have to beg from compliments from. Ask yourself why you're putting up with being treated that way. User Swampy Star Pillow. First, gross. If my BF did this, I wouldn't be able to look past it. IMO, this is a form of cheating. Everyone has different tolerances for cheating. Directly messaging another woman like this, I'd consider a form of cheating. What was the intended result? That the model would message back? Then what? Develop a relationship? Secondly, if I were you, I'd get the ick from those messages. Very cringe. Girl, you deserve better. You deserve someone who compliments you and doesn't message other women with compliments that should be for you. And thank you all for sharing your diverse opinions on this Reddit relationship dilemma. It's clear that there are various perspectives on the matter. Now, let's transition to our next captivating story. I, 28 female, has completely fallen out of love with my husband, 34 male, after our first year of having a baby. Hi Reddit, to summarize our marriage. We have always been long distance and has never really gotten the chance to live together, apart from a maximum of 3 months in either countries. And most of it we were both on leave and traveling and having fun. The 3 months prior to having my son, we were in my hometown and both of us were both off work. I have recently gotten a new job and saved a lot of money to spend on experiences, eating out, and to rent an apartment in the city. We were so happy and thought we were happy and stable enough for a baby. My husband has always been aggressive in communication, emotionally, and how he treats me. I've communicated that if he does not solve his issues, I wanted a divorce. He has begged for forgiveness, sought counseling, changed. This was prior to having my son and now after having my son. Everything came back full force and 10 times worse. We stayed in my hometown for 7 months after I gave birth as we awaited my visa to go to the US. And he was so mean. There were times I would just be holding my baby crying to him saying that he's being so mean to me. I was basically a single mom. He complained that he had no social life, that the gym and our baby was the only thing keeping him sane here, and that my city was so quiet. He is extremely extroverted and thrives on socializing. And he excuses himself that having a baby was an adjustment for him. He would yell at me for every single thing you can imagine possible. Yell at me to organize my baby's passport. Yell at me to ask when my maternity pay is coming in. Blamed me whenever something was wrong with baby. Everything you can imagine, he blamed me for it. Now that I have gotten my US visa, I was hoping we'd be back in his home and he'd return back to his normal self and we'd be in love again, but it's like we're roommates. I know everyone says it's normal after having a baby. But no matter how much I plead, he always puts his social life first and just wants to be with his friends. I hate it here in the US. I've had so many issues, particularly with feeling safe. But the US has a community for my son that back home can't provide. That's where the main issue is. How do I handle separation if I'm not in my hometown and I don't have any money? I have nowhere to stay at. I don't have any money and can't afford childcare for my son while I study and apply for work. A part of me still loves him, but feels really traumatized by how he treated me. I no longer think he's a kind person and wish I didn't have him in my life. I've had fantasies where he would pass away and I did not have to worry about living with him or being in the US. When I picture traveling, dates, making love, it's no longer with him. I wish he would cheat on me so I have an excuse to leave. Let's get one thing straight. Having a baby is like throwing a hand grenade into a relationship, and it can either bring you closer together or send you hurtling in opposite directions. Your husband's aggressive communication style doesn't exactly sound like a bundle of joy, and it's no wonder you're feeling like you've got a roommate, not a romantic partner. Now, the US may have its charms, but it sounds like you've been thrown into a turbulent sea without a life raft. Feeling unsafe and far from home is tough, no doubt about it. But here's where things get tricky. You're stuck in a foreign land with no magic money tree, and escaping to greener pastures seems like a far-off dream. As for those fantasies, well, they're a natural response to a tough situation. It's like imagining winning the lottery when you're in a mountain of debt. Sometimes we create escape routes in our minds when life feels like it's backed us into a corner. So what's the deal here? It's clear you've got a lot on your plate, and it's not all fun and games. You're yearning for more than just a roommate situation. And you're right to seek happiness and fulfillment in your life. You've got a rocky road ahead, no doubt about it. But remember, you've got resilience in spades. Life throws curveballs, and sometimes we have to learn to hit them out of the park. Seek support, whether it's from friends, family, or professionals, and keep your eye on the prize, your own happiness and the well-being of your little one. Next, let's dive into some of the comments from our wonderful community. User HikeHikeyBaby. It's really common for abuse to begin or escalate during pregnancy after having a baby. Babies are stressful and can exacerbate pre-existing problems with emotional regulation for anyone. But some people use that as a reason to take their emotions out on others. Unfortunately, the abusive partner may also feel that you are trapped because you have a child together. Life is always stressful. So someone who takes that stress out on you is bad news. It means they are also more likely to be abusive if they lose their job, if they get sick, if the baby gets sick, etc., and they won't be there for you. Someone who feels like you are trapped is bad news because they don't feel the need to hide it anymore. Abuse escalates. Abusers feel more comfortable with their behaviors over time. You can prove him wrong. Go home. You don't need an excuse. The abuse is a very valid reason to leave. Call your family and tell them you need help getting home. It can be hard to leave the country with a baby, and you may need to get a lawyer and plan ahead carefully. But even if you can't go home, you don't have to stay with him. User Bony Unicorn. This is extremely common. Someone will change, but after you're stuck with a baby in a different country, they drop the mask. This is who he is. Is there a way you and your baby can go back to your hometown and find opportunities there? User Secret Ectorian. Hi. First of all, sending lots of hugs. Second of all, might he be a narcissist instead of an extreme extrovert? I saw from your other post that he expected others in your home country to invite him out, which sounds much more like needing to feel wanted and that people enjoy his company. Not an important question, but perhaps might help when dealing with him in the future because narcissists are excellent chameleons. It's why he was able to fool you. Not your fault at all. Third, have you looked into any organizations that might help Muslim women? Specifically, escape bad marriages, domestic violence? Emotional abuse is DV. Is it worth going back to your home country? I know you said there's no community there for your son, but is that the only reason? I found out my partner thought I was ugly before when we started dating. F32, M27. My partner and I have been together for 4 years and we have a toddler together. Also throwaway account for safety reasons. I got curious one day and checked his phone and found old group chat messages where he told his friends that he's meeting up with the ugly chick tonight. This is when we were still in the early talking stages and they asked him which one, and he sent them my Instagram picture and my nickname is Buggy. I searched Buggy in the messages and a bunch of message threads came up of my BF calling me ugly, and I'm one of the ugliest girl he has ever dated. But he had to settle for me. He made comments about why are all the fat ones so nice but all the baddies are so rude. His friends and him made a lot of jokes about me being 200 pounds, and my BF never defended me. And he just put laughing emojis. HS stopped making comments on my appearance when we were officially dating and we were in a long-term relationship. He hasn't been active in that group chat since. But this still hurt my feelings so much. And I brought this up to him and he turned it back on me saying how dare I go through a man's phone. But he apologized and said he was immature back then, and how it was just boys just being boys. He told me he didn't think I was initially attractive because I'm fat, but he grew to find my personality beautiful, even though I'm not. Fucking ouch. This happened in September, and I still can't get over it. I'm just even more insecure now than I ever been before. I don't even take off my clothes when we're having intercourse, and I lock the bathroom door when I'm taking a shower. I feel so insecure to even let him see me naked because I'm not a perfect size 2. And I've never been a small woman. I know part of me should let this go, but as a woman, it's just hard to get past this. Well, dear listeners, we've got ourselves a real doozy of a relationship dilemma, haven't we? It's like an episode of How Not to Start a Romance 101. First of all, snooping through someone's phone. It's a bit like opening Pandora's box. You never know what secrets you might uncover. And in this case, you've unearthed some pretty harsh comments from your partner's past. Ouch! Now your fella's excuse that it was just boys being boys, well, that's like saying a raccoon is just trash pandaing. It doesn't make it any less hurtful. It's clear that those words left a scar on your self-esteem, and it's no wonder you're feeling insecure. But here's the thing. Nobody's perfect, and nobody should have to conform to some idealized beauty standard. Remember that beauty isn't one size fits all. It's subjective and ever-evolving. It's about confidence, personality, and a twinkle in your eye. So don't let those old, thoughtless comments dictate how you see yourself now. You're so much more than a number on a scale or a clothing size. Your worth goes beyond the superficial, and you deserve love, respect, and appreciation for who you are, inside and out. It may take time to heal those wounds, but trust that you are worth it. You're a force to be reckoned with, and it's time to let that inner beauty shine. Next, let's take a look at what our amazing community has to say in the comments section. User Elegant Rectum. I'm baffled you can continue to have making love with him after hearing his response. That's crazy to me. No, you shouldn't let it go. His present-day response should have told you that this is not all in the past. User Bell Butt. Even if those comments weren't about you, I'd seriously be unattracted to someone so mean and rude. He lacks integrity. There's so many awesome people out there. Why waste your time with someone like that? User Buttercupcake23. Who says you need to let this go? He was awful. You got a glimpse into what he's like and who he is deep down when other people aren't around. And it was ugly. He was ugly. You don't need to force yourself to settle for someone like that. It'd be one thing if he was horrified and on his knees begging for forgiveness, trying any and everything to restore your trust and self-esteem. But he's not. He's just as callous as he ever was. Don't settle for this asshole. You can do way better. Bridget38. Oh wow, I can't imagine how you feel, but I'm sure not too good about yourself. It's hard as a woman, BC. We are usually so much harder on ourselves than anyone else is. I would feel like you and not want to take my clothes off with him near. Hell, I'm like that now and my BF has never done anything like that. Be kind to yourself, and you feel it's salvageable then. Let him try to salvage it. If not, then it may be time to move on. Good luck. Soph Lurk in 2018. You can't unlearn the hurtful information. You deserve better than not feeling fully comfortable around your partner. Your boyfriend is a mean person. No one deserves to be talked among the way he talked about you. He could have declined the date. He gave you a hurtful nickname and encouraged his friends to trash you. I would rather be single than with a man like your boyfriend. Next up, I, 21F, saw that my BF, 27M, was texting his friend, we're in an open relationship, and we definitely are not. This was a guy friend, and I don't think my BF is gay, so this feels really weird. Asked him about it, and he said he just wanted to seem cool. He's 27 though, so I feel like that might be a lie. We've been dating 3 years. I feel like that is really sketchy. I am thinking of breaking up over this, but IDK if I'm overreacting. I don't think he'd cheat on me, but clearly he would lie about me. I want to stay with him on one hand, because we have had a nice relationship that's been pretty healthy. But I don't want to worry about my partner lying about me or cheating. They should be your safe person, I feel like. Opinion now, your boyfriend's explanation that he just wanted to seem cool is certainly, well, creative. At 27, you'd think he'd be over the teenage look how edgy I am phase. But hey, some folks have a delayed sense of cool, I suppose. But seriously, trust is the cornerstone of any relationship, and when it's shaken, it can rattle your confidence. It's natural to want a partner who is open and honest with you, especially after 3 years together. The idea of your safe person being anything but safe is, well, a tad disheartening. Breaking up is a big step, and it's essential to weigh the pros and cons. It might be worth having an honest conversation with your boyfriend, sharing your concerns, and trying to understand his motivations. It could be an opportunity to clear the air and decide if this relationship is worth salvaging. Update. I, 21F, saw that my BF, 27M, was texting his friend he's in an open relationship. So after some very tough love from y'all, and after some soul-searching, I did it. I broke up with him. It feels scary to be single for the first time in my adult life, but I'm also excited. We're going to try to be friends, and I am hoping that doesn't end badly. But I did break up with him, and I think that's something for the better. He tried to fight me on it, but I really just wasn't interested. I think he was being truthful that it wasn't setting himself up to cheat, but if it was, then joke's on him because now he has no one. Anyways, just wanted to mention this since a lot of people seem to feel strongly over my poor decision-making. Lol, all jokes. A lot of you did leave me very helpful and meaningful comments, and I actually read and appreciated most of them. So thanks. So, you've cut ties and decided to give the friends route a whirl. It's like trying to turn a movie night into a book club. A bit of a switch up, but it could lead to some great conversations and new connections. As for your ex-boyfriend, well, it seems he didn't quite see it coming. Who can blame him when you're a force to be reckoned with? And as for your past poor decision-making, it's all part of life's learning curve. Here's to new beginnings, personal growth, and the exciting adventures that lie ahead. You've got the world at your feet, and there's no doubt that you're on the path to bigger and brighter things. Next up, let's check out what the community has to say in the comments section. User Todison on McCrae. We're going to try and be friends. Why? He's an untrustworthy person. I've got no idea why people are so desperate to be not alone that they'd rather stay in contact with someone that treated them like shit. Staying friends with an ex never works out, especially right after the relationship ends. Someone always gets jealous and/or hurt. User Lady of Lomond. If you're set on being friends, you need to give him a cooling off period. Long enough to make him realize there's no point in him trying to get you back. Anywhere between 6 months and 5 years. User The Cardinal 44. Proud of you. But best to pull the band-aid off and cut contact friendship, leaving the door open to manipulate your hurt and loneliness to work his way back in. As we wrap up this Reddit story, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more captivating Reddit stories. Your support means the world to me. I enjoy and I can't wait to see you in the next video.